Welcome to FCC Supporter Square, the show for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here's your host, Mark Sutphin and Matt Warman.
Hey, everybody! It is that time again. It is that show again. Did you miss us? And I mean us. My peanut butter to my jelly, or his peanut butter to my jelly, however that works. My bing to the bong. Mr. Mark Stuffin, he is back. He is bold. He's sassy. Uh, Tell everybody how you doing, my friend. I'm so happy to have you back here.
Matt, pleasure to be back on once again. For those who do not know, I was diagnosed with a heart murmur in 2021, was re-diagnosed in February that it was severe and needed surgery to replace a faulty heart valve. Went through that on April 23rd and have been just in recovery since. Recovery's been going very well. Obviously, I wanted to go faster, but last evening was just thrilled that through my company we have company suites up in 318, and was able to get the company suite so I could walk there and enjoy the match sitting down, which I did. So, but it was great to see you over at Sam Adams to get some pre-match in, and wow. Unfortunately, the team just did not gel together in the final third, and but boy, it was just great to be back. Thankful and just so appreciative of everyone that's reached out to wish me well, encourage me, to get back. And last night I did, so I was very happy about that.
I am so excited to have you. I've been trying to make sure that our fans and listeners were updated properly, but it's so much better coming from you than from me. And we're very happy to have this. So we can now jump into the FCC stuff, right? Hopefully your heart will take it because this week was the best of times, the worst of times. My oh my, what a difference a game makes, both good and bad. That Saturday night when we scored, I was like, that's how you win championships. You win these games. I was losing my mind, and then my next thought was, Mark, I hope you're okay because my heart is beating out of its chest watching that last match. Please be okay, Mark.
Oh, believe me, as many people text me to yeah, be careful because they know who I am. They know what I'm capable of. But
Yeah, so I mean,
Mount Lookout, yeah, what a wonderful place.
you know, one goal down, I was like, at no time did I panic. And then we scored a goal, and then we scored another one. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
this is all right. Now it's in the bag. The defense is gonna play, and then they score. Like, oh crap! And then we score. Then they get a PK, and then we score
Yeah.
in extra time. Not necessarily in the death, but definitely in extra time. And then it's like, finally, we've got this thing secure. I think. And the defense is looking a little. I think they're a little tired, honestly. I mean, all things considered, before we get into yesterday's game and all the fun that was that, we're at approximately the halfway point. We're in first place or second place, behind by 1 point. Um, 8 or 7 wins in a row is insane. It's something that I didn't think would happen this year, given the amount of change. I knew that this team could be really good, but it was going to take some time. I didn't think they would reel off that many wins. And quite frankly, I was mentioning this to somebody earlier today. If you had like 3 wins and 5 ties, or or 5 wins and 3 ties, or 4 and 4, and they were interspersed, I think they play different. I think if when you're like, hey, we won, and then it's two, then it's three, it's like okay, but by the time you get to like five or six or seven, when people are starting to expect it, now there's a whole extra amount of pressure to win, not to tie, to win. And this team really put everything they had into it. On Saturday, they looked physically and mentally tired. What were your thoughts from the luxury suite?
Well, getting back to Saturday, I think they showed every bit of what they are capable of doing. Is going and taking a team's best shot, and Toronto is certainly a team that's going to, if they make the playoffs, are going to be dangerous. But I think heavy legs were one thing, but just hard luck is got to be the because so many times we had okay shots, almost all of them went right to Willis, and from the beginning to the end, Willis just did not have much to do other than just take the balls that were kicked right to him and gobble them up.
And kick them out of bounds.
He's a quality keeper, and we just didn't execute at the end of the line, and it showed. So no goals. I think we may have put too much into the Saturday match, and we just didn't have it to execute on Wednesday. But certainly the crowd showed up 25-5-1-3 one more time on a Wednesday. That it was a ruckus night. Just it wasn't in the cards for us in the orange and blue.
I My wife was out of town looking after my daughter. She had some back surgery, so she was up helping her recover. She came back yesterday, or not yesterday, Tuesday. You have to get unburied at work and whatnot, and she had to work a little later. So she's like, I think I'm going to skip the game. And I was like, that's fine. So we sold the tickets. Hey, Pat Courier, thank you so much for the Bailey ticket. I got myself a Bailey ticket. Because I know a whole lot of knuckleheads as people know. I actually was in with the Vanguard down with Alec Nicholson and the other Alex and Tom Beaversdorf, literally behind the net. So most of what I saw was Joe Willis casually catching a ball and then kicking it out of bounds. He was,
Yes.
that's the only thing he did wrong was kick the damn thing out of bounds like four or
Yep.
five times. He was getting mad at himself, and uh,
Yep.
but so it wasn't a great game. But it was a really fun time. When I sit in First Financial, it's a lot more watching the play, watching the Bailey on occasion, but watching the play, watching what's going on. It's a different view, particularly when you're down on the first row.
Yep.
Uh, I don't know why people really want to be there. You have to be there not because you want to be on TV. You have
Yeah.
to be there because you're very loud and proud, and also you're not going to watch the game, so you better be loud and proud because
Yep.
you can, because of the big screens, you can get a glance. It's kind of weird. It was like half being from home and half being right there. So like if they
Yep.
score, then everything's like super awesome. But when
Right.
it's 2-0, then it's just a lot of chanting, and nothing wrong
Yeah.
with a lot of chanting. I love my chants, as most people know that I do that. Um, but it was interesting. It's just, it's what I'd like to do several times a year is get into the Bailey and visit the FCC fam and become a member of the larger collective. That's the best part of being in the Bailey, in my mind. But you're a season ticket Bailey guy, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. It's a thing that once you've been in there, all it takes is one time, and that's all it took for me. And I was hooked. I enjoy it. I still enjoy it. It is just the place to be if you're anywhere in the stadium. It's the place to energize. not only the people around you, but the whole stadium. Because the chance itself is one thing, but when you get obviously we didn't score last night, but if when you get that goal and we do the sha la la, that totally erupts TQL Stadium when that goes on. So certainly I enjoy the Bailey for so many things. That of course is the cherry on the top. But yeah, I'm looking to hopefully be back in the Bailey. I'm thinking by my recovery, probably around July. So it's gonna still. I'm gonna work hard.
Well, we got international break,
Don't worry about.
so we are
Yeah,
off for 2.5 weeks.
exactly.
We not we being FC Cincinnati, not we being you and I.
Yeah,
Watching the game, what I can tell you is that they looked like they were outworked. Nashville always has a defense. It was like, can they score? They like to play 0-0 games. Uh, Roman didn't have the best game. The first goal really wasn't his fault, but it wasn't a wide open header. Nashville got their head on the ball, but it was one of those where there's it's just a laundry list of people, and somebody gets the top of the head on the ball, and it just kind of bounced and skid past him. There's really not much you can do as a keeper on those types of things. Hope
yeah,
that your guy gets it out, but it wasn't like somebody was left like Kelsey in the Hell is Real game where
yeah,
he's unmarked. That's a goal. That this was just bang bang. There you go. The second one, Rumman didn't cover the corner. I think if he had it over,
well,
he would play it. Yeah,
yeah,
I was there. I was 10 feet from him. He was not happy with that goal. The first
yeah,
goal, it is what it is. The second goal, you could have stopped it. 1-0 may be a different feeling tactically. I noticed that, and I'm hoping that this is just specific to Nashville. They really just wanted to clog the middle. They
yes,
they really were pressing high and clogging the middle. And so when we were passing out to the wings, they already had 3 or 4 guys. They're like, stay wide. We don't care. Stay wide. We got one guy on you, and we're going to just make sure that anybody who comes anywhere in any kind of open area, we're going to have 10 people back. That's really how
yeah,
they wanted to play, and they played that pretty well.
yeah,
Now, once we kind of adjusted our tactics, I thought Orishano taking. So here's the thing: is that I noted yesterday is that when you think of offensive players doing one-on-ones, you expect it in the offensive third. Hey, I got to beat this wing back or this center back to get a pass or a shot. Orishano was doing the one-on-one moves at midfield, and when he broke that one-on-one, and he did it a couple of times, he had 30 plus yards of green space. We just needed more people to run, and as you said, take better shots.
for sure. You saw Nashville really focused on Lucho, and they focused on Kelsey. Kelsey just was smothered every time the ball even tried to reach him. And Lucho did get away a few times, but they were on him solid the whole match. So they had a good game plan and they executed it. I see the second goal. I see Haglund uh, getting over to the center to try to stop that, and the ball just squirted left, right to Schaffelberg, and he didn't miss. He's a Canadian international, plays on their national team. He's that darn good, and he showed it last night. Certainly, Roman has made some good saves, but that was almost point blank from how close he was. Um, when you look at stats, we had over 60% possession. We doubled in shots on goal. We doubled in corner kicks. Oddly, no yellow cards at all, and that was kind of a shock. But it was a fairly clean game. And total shots was almost double. So it wasn't that we didn't execute. We only place we didn't execute was on our shots themselves. They had no pace. They had no, not a lot of strength, and just not a lot of, Willis is, I think, the tallest goalie. If he's not, he's definitely up there. You got to get it around him. You can't just put it right at him and expect him to miss it. He's too big.
And he's like 145 years old. He's been playing this since the dawn of soccer, I think.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's it. Everything you said is correct. Here's some things that are disconcerting, and this brings up a topic I think I'd really like to discuss with you. I think we were talking about it during pregame with some other people, but we don't have anybody who takes a really good free kick. Lucho, as good as he is not the best free kick taker. He's not the best. He's not an exceptional corner kick taker, but we don't have anybody better. Orejano was trying, but every time he tries to curl the ball, he hits it 40 rows into the stand. We don't have if we get fouled in a dangerous area, we're not that. They're not a team, right? If you have, as much as I hate the team, if Cucho has something within 25 yards, you are very nervous because that is going to be 9 times out of 10 really dangerous. Either you make a great save or it goes in. We don't have that. Nobody has that sense. Now I think we have a sense of run of play. I think this is the best team I've ever seen offensively run of play in Cincinnati. Not ever, but in this is the best. This team can create chances, and they did, like you said, even yesterday, not putting anything in the net. But we don't have anything like that. So there was some talk about we have like $1 million of cap space. We've been shopping Boop. I don't think that's an open secret. They were shopping him before his unfortunate injury. If we got rid of Boop, I don't want to say got rid of because that's not, if he fits, he fits. He doesn't. I'm not mad at Boop at all. I'm just saying if we have to, if we get rid of him, he moves on to another team. We have that slot available. What would you do with that slot? What would you do with the money? We could get 2 players. Who would you want? What could you?
No.
What I mean, so if you last year we had like 4 really good center backs or 3 center backs, and that was pretty much it. Now we have depth in there. I mean, Hacklin plays, Keller can play. Our wing backs, we've got Alvis and Kubo and Orellano. We've got depth at there. Obi is only one. Lucho is only one, and Buka is only one, but we can definitely move some other pieces, Pinto and other places. And our young guys up top, they need the minutes, so you don't really want to get a top of the line striker. I would like to get a sub for Lucho. I heard Dado would be that. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I really think Assad was brought in to attempt to be the Lucho, plug him in if Lucho is to come out. I'm still not fully convinced on the back line, even though we do have a wonderful back line. It's stocked, but I think one more piece is necessary. I'm not here to say Hagelin, had some trouble last night, but he's coming off an injury, so he is still at a percentage of ready, which I think is 85, 90 percent. But they focused on his side most last night, so that's what got me thinking. There's a need in the back line. One more step. Now Keller is that sub, and he filled in so well for us early in the season when we needed him. It's just I think one more piece is necessary. Honestly, the front line, getting Kelsey is exactly what we wanted. We wanted a tall guy. Uh, he holds up pretty well. I do think he still needs to work on that hold up a little better. You saw Nashville, get the ball, pop it back to a midfielder, and then get the ball back. They seem to run that pretty well. Kelsey still needs to work on that. He does good out in the open, but when he's under duress, he's really got to collect the ball, get it out, and get back open. So I think it just needs to gel up front, and last night just exposed that.
Some of the things that, and it's amazing. We won 7 in a row, and we're still like, yeah, there's some things that we need to do. And I think
Yeah,
that is that because we're thinking, you and I, and I'm sure everybody out who's listening to this is thinking, we want we want the shield, we want the cup, we want it all. We should get it all. This team is deep enough and strong enough. But
yep,
you can see if somebody packs in the bus. I've seen earlier when people are very active with their pressing, you have very athletic, fast players who press well. This team struggles. I think yesterday they worked on it a little bit, but they are still very predictable in their passing patterns. It
yeah,
seemed like they were going to pass. I'm not sure if it was Obi or Buka was going to pass back, and Nashville was running back before he made the pass, and so he had to stop and look around. So they know that, oh, it's going to go here. People are studying us. People
yeah,
are looking at our tendencies, just like you would in any sport. We need
right,
to break some of our tendencies and do something a little bit different.
yep, yep, and that's going to fall on Noonan to get a game plan that's going to counter what the other team's strength's going to be. And say by and large we've done that. We've beaten some very good teams. Columbus for sure. St. Louis was that team that just buried us last year. So happy to get a 3-1 win over them. And then Toronto was going to be that big test because Toronto was so much better, and boy did we shine. It's just I don't think we had the legs really to put together a full game plan. I think we had some good ideas. It's just their counter, and they just got a couple of good lucky goals, a breakaway goal, and it's just how it goes. I think we're in a great spot. I'm not down on this team, especially 7 in a row, and we didn't even do that last year. This just means we lost Moreno, we lost Barreal, we lost Vasquez, and we're doing better. So it the future's bright, and like what Orishano did last night, he was good. Obi was Obi strong. My gosh, he was strong. There's a couple of times he just took Mukhtar and just made him look slow. That was quality. That was quality by him last night. So, but yeah, it was just a wonderful night. I just hated that we couldn't get anything in the net, but it's going to come. We've shown we can do it. It's just last night was not that night. I think a trip up was coming 7 in a row. It's hard to imagine. So I think a trip up just was maybe needed to really get this team focused. So I'm looking forward to the next half and hopefully overtaking Miami. I think the time is right.
So we do not play again until June 15th. Obviously, we played the Wednesday game instead of the Saturday game. The following Saturday is our week off, and then there's an
Yep.
international break. So we have
Yep.
2.5 weeks to get ourselves mentally and physically right. You know that Lucho's probably playing with 5 or 6 knocks. It couldn't come at a better time. We have to go out to San Jose, I think is when we go back, and then we've got
Yep.
Philadelphia at home coming up. So hey, enjoy the break, FCC fam. Go see that other fam that's not FCC, and then I guarantee you, as early as Saturday, you're going to start going, wait, don't we have something to do? We don't have anything to do. Wait, can can we get some neighbors and go out and march and chant? Can we just do that?
Yeah,
Uh, this weekend you probably be fine. Next weekend, I know I will be getting pretty itchy for it.
yeah,
We are sitting so well. We're talking about the summer window, and we don't know, and quite frankly, don't care a whole lot on. We're just like, oh well, we need that guy. We need that guy for the summer window for this push to get us over the hump. I think we could
yeah,
win with what we got, but we got room, and if we get a DP spot, we got to do something to make sure that there is no doubt because this team. 9 times out of 10 is going to put you down. I've
yeah,
never. I just love watching this team. How they go down a goal, it's not a problem. Even 2 goals. We were in the Bailey. We're like, hey, we got 29 minutes. We got 70 minutes. We got plenty of time to
yep,
get this thing. And we had a couple of chances,
yep,
as you said, it just didn't go in. So
right.
it's gonna be an interesting break. It'll be an interesting halftime piece. It'll be a lot of fun, and we can breathe pretty easy that we're right there at the top in the supporter shield race.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing, the last little thing I guess is that unlike Miami, our strikers are 19 and 19.
Hmm.
Our Barrio replacement is what, like 22?
Yep.
Uh, and we've got another striker in FCC2 who's 18, who will be in the first team next year. Uh,
Sorella. Yep.
we are so stocked with young talent that we don't have to worry about signing, ancient Barca players on one knee to try to make it through a season. Uh, you know, playing on AstroTurf and whatnot. Those guys. That's really a tough ask for the older team. No matter how good they are, and they are where they are now. But we'll see where they are at the end of the season. We
Yep.
have this season, we have next season, we have the season after that. We have Steven Jimenez, who at some point he's going to be bigger and stronger, and 16 and 17, he's going to make a difference. So
Yes.
I'm super psyched for that.
Without a doubt, FCC2 is really, started. They struggled when they started, but you just see what they're made of now. Cirilla jumping in there and really just shining for that team. Jimenez, another one that's playing solid for them. Ben Stitz is another one. Yeah, they're really hitting on all cylinders in that um, uh, MLS Next group. So I'm definitely happy for the future, and just hoping those guys continue to progress and show that they deserve a spot on the first team.
Well, there you go. Any other final notes? Any final words before we head out?
Well, I want to. I'm wearing a kit that I just received, promoting the Natty SC. That is a collaboration of mostly former FC Cincinnati players, and part of what made it a very good night in TQL last night was actually uh, the four former FCC players that collaborated to pull the sword last night. First, Michael Malay, who I believe was a 2016 backup keeper. You had the 2017 Kadeem Dakers. You had the 2018 and 2019 Justin Hoyt, who I believe at latest check, he's still open. He is
He
still open.
was. He was
And
so.
and and of course the incomparable legend Kenny Walker, number 6 in your program, and just what a legend he was, 2016 to 2018. All four of those guys, just so happy to see them on on the field. I've met Kadeem a few times myself, and it's just a joy that to see them get recognized last night.
And I ran into Omar after the game too. He was all super psyched.
Yes,
uh,
for sure. The OG number
we
14.
love it. So we do have a very special guest next week. We have to work out some things on our end. Not not that you would know the guest. It's not like Jeff Birding's coming on, but it's going to be a very special podcast next week. I'm super psyched. I'm super psyched to have you guys meet our next guest. So stay tuned, stay frosty, and stay in touch with your FCC fam on this very long break. And we will see you next time here on FCC Supporter Square.
Thank you for listening to FCC Supporter Square. Your hosts are Mark Sutphin and Matt Warner. If you'd like to be a guest, please contact us at fcc.supp.square@gmail.com. The intro song was Living Inside My Brain by the Stone Buttons. The exit song was Awesome Sauce, also by the Stone Buttons. Thank you for listening.